Good morning. It is 5:50 a.m. and I'm almost all packed up. I just gotta get finished packing up, shake some of this dirt out of my tent, and then get to rolling. It looks like a green field. It's more like swamp.
Little Meadow Lake, I think.
It is 7:15. We have been hiking for right about an hour. There's supposed to be like a caldera here, kind of like Yellowstone, and there's supposed to be some geysers, but I don't know that any of them are actually on trail. There was one just back a little ways. There was a side trail. It was called a geyser, but the description said it's not really a geyser. I didn't really care to walk a half mile to see that. I've seen tons of geysers in Yellowstone. I've been there a few times, and nobody else wanted to walk down there either. So, so far, I mean, it's been lovely. The weather is actually a little bit, I mean, not really cool, but it's not hot. It's overcast. Started with a little bit of drizzle the first few minutes, but for the most part, we are just walking through burn zone. There's old CC Grace. Swan Lake, but there are no swans. We fill our water up here, and this is just such a beautiful lake. It's not that deep, but as you can see, you kind of have to walk the plank to get out to the end to fill up your water. I just took my shoes and socks off and walked right out there and got water. Water's clean and clear, not real cold, but man, what a beautiful, calm lake. I don't think I ever showed you guys the wound I got the other day in the dark. I'll show you that before I walk back up here to my pack. So I had a stick went in right here and just ran all the way up. I had blood dripping all down my socks and everything, but it's pretty much scabbed over and all good now. These big open burn zones kind of remind me of like dilapidated city buildings that are falling down. Barely a shadow of their former glory. And it'll be decades before it can be a nice forest again. It's kind of sad. It is 1:45 and we are having lunch. And there's like a Christmas tree elevated way above all the other trees down there. Let me show you. Just a Christmas tree elevated way above everything. All right, we are approaching the exit border of Lassen National Park. And I may have said this earlier, I've honestly never even heard of Lassen National Park. And based on what we've seen, or the part we've walked through, I don't know why it's a national park. We basically walked through 19.3 miles of the park, and it was pretty much all burn zone. It was all, the first 8 miles were kind of rolling ups and downs. The last 11 have been probably the easiest hiking we've had on the entire trail. There's some interesting signs here. So we have Lassen Volcanic National Park. People have written some interesting things here, like believe your eyes, not their lies, boycott big tech. Who knows? Anyway, I'm happy to be out of the park. We can go back to camping wherever we want. But this is only like 19.3 for the day, and we're looking for 30, so we got to get to going. Getting close to 23 miles in for the day. And man, the trail today has been dreamy. All right, just a little evening check-in. It is 6:25 p.m. and we are right at 27 miles in for the day. Still clicking away, going strong. So we got 3 more miles to hit our first 30, and then we get to rest and have dinner. It looks like then we're gonna have 2 shorter days because of a reservation at the upcoming town. So life is feeling pretty good right now. It's still been mild temps, kind of overcast. I've eaten too many snacks today, but we're gonna get to resupply in the morning when the store opens. So, should be all good to go. All right, we're almost there. We're at 29.8. Got 0.2 to go. And we're still moving strong. It helps that today was one of the easiest terrain days we've had. All right, we did our 30. I was watching far out, and when we hit 30, I looked up. Hollywood was like 40 yards ahead of me, looking back, doing the fist pump. What do you think, Cece?
Woo! Killed it. Nice.
Thanks. She said we killed it. All right, just thought I'd show you. This is not because we did 30 miles. This is like the same if we do like 5 miles. This is what, I've already wiped this foot a little bit with a wet wipe before I decided to show you. This is what my feet look like pretty much every day. Time to clean them off and start over. All right, I haven't had dinner yet. I'm gonna see if it'll show up in this camera. I've realized that I got some problems with my tent. Now, I have about 4,000 miles on this tent because I did the whole AT and some other stuff with it. There's no way this is going to do anything if it rained. Well, it would do something. It would leak all over me. There's a bunch of places, but let me show you the biggest ones. This one's probably... You see that whole strip of daylight and the Dyneema all the way up. And then both corners look like that, where you can see this is not good. I gotta figure out a tent situation before we hit any rain. All right, so I'm sitting here. I have this Peak Refuel fettuccine with chicken. Then I got free out of that hiker box. I've had like 2 bites. It's really good, but it's starting to get dark, so I wanted to go ahead and come on here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my tent. We have no cell service today. I have a different tent that's just not one that I like. It's not a duplex. It's a big Agnes tent at home at my parents' house. So if I had cell service, I could get them to send that and then send shoes and all that. But we have no cell signal. We're supposed to go into Old Station first thing in the morning. We're only like a mile out of Old Station. It's not really a town. It's like a campground with a store, I think, maybe a couple, 2 like little general stores. So we'll go in there tomorrow and get some resupply. Can you make a little more noise with that bottle?
Yes. You do whatever you want. You did 30 miles today, sir. So yeah, we went through Lassen. You already heard my thoughts on that. We did our first 30 today, and that is my biggest day ever. I think my biggest day ever before this was like 27 point something, and that was in the Smokies in 2021. That's all I got. I got to figure out this tent and some shoes and get some asthma medicine sent to me. Hopefully I can get service at some point tomorrow. Tomorrow's also my dad's birthday, so I need to get some cell signal at some point. But until then, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.